Hello, Expansive Flow. How are you? Happy Monday. How was your Easter? I hope you had a great time for those of you who celebrated and enjoyed the holiday. And so for those of you catching this on the replay, let me know in the comments. What's up, Sarah? Hello, Elena. Let me know what you guys, let me know if you're catching this on the replay for those of you who do. For those of you that are here, tell me who watched Beyonce's Homecoming and or who watched Brene Brown's, what was it called? Hold on. I have to remember. It's escaping me. A call to courage. A Call to Courage, I'm pretty sure is what that was called. Call to Courage? Call to Bravery. Hold on, let me check. Or who knows? If you know, put it in the comments. Let me see here. Let me type it on my phone or computer real quick. I watched that, and yeah, A Call to Courage. That was it. Hey, Serena, what's up, girl? I was just thinking of you yesterday. Sarah, how are you? Rebecca, oh my gosh, all the ladies. Thanks for joining. Okay, so this weekend, I feel like I just spent the whole weekend watching like all the most amazing, inspiring shit ever. And I was just like on fire, like in the flow. And all of these pieces just kind of came together and like collided into like the perfect finished puzzle, right? Like, you know how sometimes when you're like, you get this like download and you're like, oh yeah, that's good. That's a piece. And then you get like this other little bit of information. You're like, oh, there's another piece. And you get like another piece of information. And you're like, oh, there it is. I see the whole thing, you know? This weekend was that for me. Watching Brene Brown was so inspiring. And I'm going to tell you guys in a minute, like how to get everything you want. And it's through this story that I'm essentially going to share with you. So it was about, I don't know, 4 or 5 years ago or so when I first read Brene Brown's work, her book, The Gifts of Imperfection. I'm totally a recovering perfectionist. For those of you who may not know me that well yet. And I read that book, and it was a catalyst that changed my life. She talked about, living this wholehearted life. And I was like, yes, I fucking want that. And she even like put a word for it, like wholehearted living. Like there was like she called it something. It was like a name. And I was like, yes, that is what I've always been craving. And I remember, she has these like her pillars. If you guys haven't already read The Gifts of Imperfection, like that book is fire. Check it out. It's so good. She has all these different pillars, right? Let's see if I can remember them. I used to have, I had for the longest time hanging on my wall in my kitchen, all of them. I can't remember them anymore, but one of them was like fun and play, and one was kind of like self-care-ish, vulnerability. There's various different ones. I can't remember if there was like 5 or 10 or something like that. But anyway, I just remember feeling so far away from having mastered those pillars that I had maybe like 1 or 2 that I kind of had down. And then I had just all the rest of them. It just felt so far, that wholehearted living felt so far away from me at that time. But I just kept doing my work. I kept reading and just doing my mindset work and doing all the things that I did, right? Like I really dove into self-care and worked on myself and how I felt about it as a mom. And My marriage has made like a full like 180 in that time frame. Like so many different things in my life. Money has changed for us. So many things. And I think I was dabbling in a doTERRA business at the time. And then I dabbled in another business. I was making body butter. And each step I feel like got me a little closer to where I am now. And then even now I'm still having like more clarity. And so I remember like starting my business, starting even just my coaching business, a little over 1.5 years ago now. And, hey, Miss Natalie. Hey, Sue. And I started this business with this intention, right? With a mission. Hey, Sarah. And I remember having like my own spiritual awakening, right? As I was going through my self-care journey, I had a second spiritual awakening. I would say I probably had my first spiritual awakening around like 12 years ago or so, shortly after my oldest son was born. And I just remember being like, oh, this is who I really am. Now I know my true self. And that felt so good. And I wanted for all the women to know that feeling, to experience that homecoming, right? And I just felt like I had never been more my authentic self than at that point, at that time, right? I feel like that even more now. But this weekend, as I watched Beyonce in her homecoming to Coachella documentary, and then I watched, Brene Brown's A Call to Courage, and I was like, oh my gosh, yes. Like, I think along the way, I was really kind of focusing on this, like the homeschooling mom and all of this thing. And my original mission, my original like drive, and got lost a little, right? And so many tears were shed this weekend in watching these, but tears of like joy and tears of like, fuck yes, this is what it is. This is what I'm doing. And so I was like, my husband's probably sick of hearing me talk about it. Someplace like, yeah, babe. And it's like this and it's like that. And so what it all comes down to is, my mission has always been this underlying thing, but I kind of was, not quite fully aligned for part of my journey, I would say. And that is to teach women to discover their true selves and own their power so fully as the way to get everything they want, the life they want, create whatever they desire, right? And whenever I think about that, like, I get like sensations all over my body. Like my eyes like well up with tears because the intrinsic desire to fulfill this mission is so strong. And my husband asked me, well, why do you think that is? Like, why do you feel so driven to do that? Like, why is that your mission? And I was like, because that was my journey. Because I had to learn to peel back all the layers and discover who I really was. And I've had to do that probably a couple different times. And I had to learn how to really step into my own power, because God knows I gave it away for far too long. And even still, right? And this is where coming back to center, I had to learn how to come back to center and come back into my own power over and over and over again throughout my life. And I'm sure that journey will never end. But I know now that I have so many tools, and I know that when I'm in my power, I can fucking create anything. And not just create from like an ego place, but like really let like spirit guide me. Like let spirit come through me and channel through me what I'm meant to say in this world and how I am meant to serve. And there is just no better feeling than that. And it makes it so much easier to create what I'm creating when I come from that place, when I come from that place of love, right? And I love business, and I love helping women like step into their power and uncover their gifts as they discover who they really are and what their superpowers are. Like that lights me up, and I can stand in the presence of of any of you, and I can know just from talking to you and having a conversation of what those gifts and what those powers are. And I can see like exactly what you need to get there. And that excites me. And I can see like your potential already fulfilled. Like I can see that for you like so clearly. Hello, is it Davina? Hi, Davina. Hey, Sarah, how are you? Thanks for joining. So the key to getting everything you want is to live your most authentic expression, right? Like if you are doing a business that is not fully aligned for you, well, then you can't be in your full power. It's just how it works. And you can't be in your full power if you're doing shit that you hate, that feels boring, that doesn't light you the fuck up, that if you are operating from fear or from scarcity or from bitterness or from resentment or from anger, like you're not in your power when you are experiencing that as a way of being on a regular basis, right? So I know that like there are certain things, and for me, my path has been through self-care, and I feel like for so many of us, and self-care is, for me, what self-care is not what I think many of us think that it is. I don't think self-care is getting your nails done. I mean, I think that that's like a fun, like luxurious thing to do, but I'm talking about like the type of self-care that is like nurturing to your mind, body, and spirit. And I guess nails could be that for you, but I typically think of self-care as something that is a little bit more in depth, right? Like there's some serious intention behind it. And for me, I was able to uncover parts of me that I didn't know were there through my self-care practices, through yoga, through meditation, through journaling, and maybe through energy work, there's so many different things. Some of you dance, some of you sing. I think that self-care can be all of those things, but I think too, uncovering our true selves is a lot of mindset work, a lot of clearing out the bullshit stories that we have been so conditioned to believe, or the stories that we made up because of something that happened to us along the way. Or maybe just because of our temperament, or maybe it's just because our ego is just trying to protect us so fiercely that we are constantly making up these stories that are really masking who we really are. And then we can't be the light in the world when we're hiding behind a mask. We can't show up in our businesses and have hella fucking impact. We're not, we're playing too small. We're playing too safe if we're not in our power. right? And I just had this like, I told, I had this like come to Jesus moment this weekend, and where I just saw how all of these things fit together. A few weeks ago I was in San Diego, and I was standing on this overlook at this meditation garden in Encinitas, California, and got this download that just said, you can have it all. Like, you can have everything you want. And just tears were streaming down my face, and I'm just like feeling all these pieces clicking together. And this is the vibe. This is the next level vibe that is going to be brought into my next level mastermind. This is the shit that we're going to be working on. We're going to be working on uncovering who the fuck are you really, and how can you own your power more, and how can you create everything that you've ever desired in your life through your business, and both, right? Like life and business, because it's all one. It's not like life and business. It's all together. And this is what we're going to be doing. And we're just going to be doing it really fucking deep, because it's all connected, right? If you're not getting visible enough, well, that's connected because it's because you're not maybe being your most authentic expression. You're not owning your power, right? And so we're going to dive into how these are all connected to each other, and how we can uncover more of who we are, and what we essentially need to nurture in us, or clean up, or forgive, who we need to be, really, who we need to be to have everything that we desire. And yes, we'll be talking total fucking strategy, and we'll be talking like all the limiting beliefs and all the spiritual woo, and I'm going to be sharing with you some prayers I've been learning from various books that I've been reading, and things that have been making an impact in my life. I'm going to be sharing with you like all the latest, tools and different things that I'm using. It's just going to be really, really powerful, in doing it in sisterhood, in a community of other women who can support you, relate to you, lift you the fuck up. I know one of the biggest things I've been getting out of my own mastermind lately is the women there, they see me for my gifts. They don't see me for my weaknesses. They see me for what I have to offer. And them reinforcing and reflecting that back to me every single week has been so validating. It's been so uplifting, and it's just makes such a difference in your confidence and your awareness to what your gifts even are. I mean, when people keep telling you the same thing over and over and over, you might want to believe it at some point, right? And so that is really what this mastermind is going to be about. It's going to be a safe place. It's going to be a sacred container where you can come each week and know that you are deeply held, and you are so safe, and that you will always get exactly what you need from those 90-minute sessions that we have together for 6 months. I'm so excited. I cannot fucking wait. And the women who are joining are just so committed to their own growth and to their own next level. And that is just, being with women like that there's nothing like it, there really isn't. So the way to get everything you want is to become the person who has those things now. And in the areas where you don't know how to do that yet, You just ask God. You just ask the universe. Show me the way. Let me be open to receive. Let me be open to giving. Let it all be easy. And just allow so much grace along the journey. Because you can't fuck it up. But at the same time, you will totally fail. And that's okay. It's part of the journey. And growth is messy and it's chaotic, but it's necessary. And I know that your soul is craving it. Otherwise, you wouldn't be here. So, all right, I'm going to sign off. But I love you all. And I am looking forward to the other women who are here and are ready to join us in the Next Level Mastermind. We start June 3rd. And the cost is $600 a month. There's going to be 8 women. We're doing this for 6 months, every single week for 90 minutes a week. There will be action items, accountability. There will be coaching. You'll get at least 3 hot seat coachings every single month, if not more. And then it's going to be a live curriculum. So it's you bring what you need support with each week, and that's what we will work on. Of course, we can have a plan. We will do, there will be like workbooks, but those will be created from each week's call. So there'll be like a kind of like a summary of the lessons and action items that we can pull from that, so you can kind of just keep those with you and work through the ones that apply to you at that time, or come back to them if you need to at any time. So you don't have to dig through the recording for that. But you will have a recording of every week's call as well. So it's going to be just amazing, so powerful. I already see it done, and I'm so excited for those of you who are coming in. And if you're feeling the pull, just message me. I'm happy to chat with you. We can talk about anything, any fears that you might be having. This might be a really scary investment for you to make, and I get that. But I'm here for you, and I'm happy to talk with you and see if it's a good fit for you or not. I'm totally happy to be down and honest. I'm not going to hard sell you. That's not my style. I don't do that. Yeah, if this is feeling like something that you want to do, let's talk about it. That's it. Let's just have a chat. So message me for any extra details, and then we can sort it out from there. All right. I love you, ladies. Have a wonderful week. Go be your most authentic, beautiful, amazing, bravest, courageous selves, and show up in all of your fucking power, and just know that you get to have everything you fucking want. I love you so much. Bye.